Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack a fascinating secret that's kind of hidden in plain sight, right inside the English language. It's something that explains the actual music of how we speak.
I want you to try something. Just say this sentence out loud, wherever you are. Take a piece of cake. Hear that? That little puff of air? That crisp, almost sharp sound at the start of take, piece, and cake? Well, that is definitely not an accident.
You know, it might feel totally random, but it's not. It's actually part of a predictable, consistent rule. It's like a hidden code that runs the whole show, a kind of secret music behind spoken English. And today, we are gonna crack it.
Okay, so before you can crack any code, you have to know what the basic building blocks are, right? For language, that building block is the syllable. Just think of it like the basic beat in a word. Every single beat, every syllable, is built around one vowel sound. That's the core of it.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. In words that have more than one of those beats, like potato or information, English does something special. One of those syllables always gets a little more oomph, a little more energy. It's more prominent. And that extra prominence, that's what we call stress.
So why is this stress thing such a big deal? Well, get this. It can literally change what a word means. Check this out. If you put this stress on the first syllable, you get object, a noun, a thing you can touch. But if you shift that stress to the second syllable, you get object, a verb, the action of disagreeing. Same spelling, different music, completely different word.
Okay, so we've got syllables as the beats and stress as the rhythm. But let's bring it back to our original question. What in the world does all this have to do with why take a piece of cake sounds so punchy? Well, the secret? It's all about three specific sounds. They're what we call voiceless stops, basically sounds you make without using your vocal cords. They are pa, like in piece, ta, as in take, and ka, as in kick. These are the culprits behind that punchy sound. And this leads us right to the main rule of the day. It's called aspiration, and it's actually a really simple three-step recipe. First, you find the syllable that gets the stress. Easy enough. Second, you just check if that stressed syllable starts with a P, T, or K sound. And if the answer is yes, you add a little puff of air. That puff, that is aspiration.
Let's test this out with a real word, like potato. It's got three syllables, right? Po, te, to. The stress is in the middle. Te. Now that first syllable, po, isn't stressed, so no puff of air. But the second syllable, te, is stressed, and it starts with that T sound, so boom, it gets the puff. Po, te, to. Hold your hand in front of your mouth when you say it. You can literally feel it. And once you know the rule, you start hearing this pattern everywhere. Just listen for that puff. Department, competition, impossible, attention. See? It's not random at all. That puff of air always lands on the stressed syllable when it starts with one of those three sounds. But here's what makes this a real unbreakable rule. It's super precise. Take the word top. The ta is right at the beginning of a stressed syllable, so it gets that puff of air. But now look at the word stop. Even though the syllable is stressed, that ta sound comes after an S. The rule only works if the P, T, or K is at the absolute beginning. So in stop, that T is not aspirated. It's an incredibly precise system.
You know, this whole idea that the rules of English are all about the sound and not the spelling is a huge key to unlocking the whole language. And it doesn't just stop with aspiration. Let's look at another really cool example. Think about this for a second. How do you say the plural of cat? It's cats, right? With a sharp S sound. Okay, now how do you say the plural of dog? It's dogs, with more of a buzzing Z sound. Cats and dogs. Why the difference? The spelling is the same.
Well, the answer, again, is all about sound. Try this. Put your fingers right on your throat and make a T sound. T, t. Nothing, right? Now make a D sound. D, d. You feel that vibration, that buzz? That's the difference between a voiceless sound and a voiced one. And the rule is so simple.
If a word ends in a voiceless sound, like the T in cat, the plural S is also voiceless, s. But if it ends in a voice sound, like the G in dog, the plural S becomes voice too, z. Our mouths just naturally want to create that harmony. So, we've cracked a couple of these codes today, which is pretty cool. But let's be real. Beyond just being neat trivia, why does understanding this hidden music of English actually matter?
And this, for me, is the most important part. Learning these rules isn't about trying to sound a certain way or copy a specific accent. No, it's about something way deeper. It's about finally realizing that English pronunciation isn't just a chaotic mess of exceptions. It's a system with its own beautiful internal logic.
And having that understanding, it's incredibly powerful. The source material for this explainer puts it perfectly. It says that understanding these patterns builds our confidence and we do effective communication. It's that simple. When you finally get the why behind the sounds, you can't help but speak with more confidence and more clarity. So, the next time you're listening to someone speak English or you're speaking it yourself, listen for these patterns. Listen for that puff of air in words like potato and competition. Listen for that subtle difference between S and Z in plurals. You've basically just been handed a key to unlock the hidden music of the language. So the real question is, what other secrets are you going to discover?